Hello everybody, welcome back to our video. In this video, we're going to be going over the latest changes that were announced at Maplecon. I was there in the crowd as this was being announced. Shout out everybody that came up to me and we took pictures and it was a really good time meeting everybody. But I'm going to save all of that type of stuff in MapleCon for a different video. This video, I want to focus on the updates and what are my thoughts on all of the updates. But yeah, I really do appreciate you guys, and let's get right into the video. Of course, obviously, if you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do that. Join the Discord and come to the live stream. So this update that we are getting on November 12th is called the Every Little Thing, Every Precious Thing update. This is the Assemble update in Korea. We're going to be getting most of the stuff from that update in Korea Assemble, plus new exclusive stuff for us only. And the stuff they announced is actually pretty freaking crazy. If you've been paying attention to MapleStory updates, you've been watching my videos and stuff like that, a lot of this you're gonna already know, but we got more details on it, and we're gonna get even more details when the patch notes drop on November 11th. They said that they left out a lot of stuff, and that when the patch notes drop and the update actually comes out, there's gonna be even more stuff that they didn't have time to mention. So I don't know what's an easy way of saying this update, every little thing, every precious thing, like, I don't know, LTEPT. This is the LTEPT update. I don't know, it sounds stupid though. Anyways, let's continue. So the first thing they talk about is the quality of life, which honestly is good because this is like the most important thing. Let me give you guys a little bit of context. When Team GMS was built about 2 years ago and Inkwell took charge of the game, he cooked a little too hard, in my opinion, in terms of wanting to make brand new content for the game when the base game itself wasn't as good as it could have been. And he said in the last Inkwell note exactly this, and that they would try and focus more on quality of life and making the base game just more functional and more enjoyable to play, which this is what they started with and is honestly amazing. So the first thing is level 3 link skills. We know about this, and I have a video on how to get level 3 link skills, but this is actually very good because it's a huge damage increase for everybody no matter where you are in the game, and it's going to help you mob, it's going to help you boss, it's going to help you just do everything better, which is very nice. This next one is massive equipment acquisition support. So now when you kill bosses, you are going to get a guaranteed Dawn/pitched accessory piece or fragment when you defeat a boss. So you are guaranteed to get one of these every single time you defeat one of the bosses, and if you have a certain number of them, you can exchange them for a pitch item or a Dawn accessory item, which is amazing because it lowers the variance. If you don't know what variance means, it means the extremes of how lucky and how unlucky you get. So basically, when something has very high variance, it means that there isn't a necessarily consistent or average number of anything that pertains to it. So for example, some people can get unlucky on pitched boss for years. Like, you don't get a magic eye patch for like 3 years straight or something like that, whereas somebody could get it in 1 week and they 22 it instantly, right? But with something like this, it lowers the variance, meaning more people are going to get these items and it's going to be a lot easier to get them, and the average will be more consistent. Now, I don't know if you're going to get only one of these. We don't know how many you need per item or if you could get more of these, but it is very good for this to be added to the game. The next thing they mention is that you can restore boomed items during star forcing by hunting. So what that means is if you boom an item, you can go farm mobs, and you can res the item, which I think is an amazing way to go about it. It is an amazing way. Now, again, we don't know exactly how many mobs you have to kill, how long it's going to take, but this is an amazing way to go about it because it rewards you. Obviously, I'm sure as you know, if you farm on MapleStory, you get stronger because you get mesos, you get frags, you get nodes, you get fams, all this stuff that you get from farming. And now on top of that, you are also going to be able to restore your item from farming. So not only do you get your item back, you also get all the resources along with it while you get the item back. So it's very strong and very helpful for you. And it says at the bottom, they restore not just boss accessories and armor, but also Dawn/pitched accessories. So even pitched boss, you'll be able to resurrect it. So with these two systems in mind, one system that gives you the item and one system that allows you to resurrect the item, there's going to be so many more really hard items that everybody's going to be able to get. Star cores that drop while hunting can be used to restore destroyed equipment. So star cores, we don't know if they are affected by drop, probably, but you should be farming with max drop anyways. But yeah, you're just more rewarded for farming, which which is good. Now, this one I didn't expect and was also pretty crazy. So now you can restore your items as well through doing a boss mission. And it shows in this screenshot Extreme Lucid. Now, are we going to get an Extreme Lucid? If we do, that's a brand new boss that no other region has. And that's also very, very interesting. I hope we do get an Extreme Lucid. But this is also very cool because now you can restore your item. Let's say you don't want to farm or you don't have a lot of time to farm, right? Because you're going to need a lot of time to farm anyways. This is an alternative option. You could defeat a boss and get boss mission points and restore your item that way. And you'll probably be able to do both as well if you want to restore your item as fast as possible. So I think this is really, really good. Star Force Restore, just through doing bosses, it rewards you for getting stronger and it rewards you for being good at the game, which I think is amazing. Like, this is the way that they should have went about it. And I'm very happy to hear this. Now, in my video about Pitch Boss, I made a suggestion that Pitch Boss should be restored through a method like this, where you do a boss and you get points just like your Genesis Liberation quest, and it helps you get your Pitch Boss item. Honestly, I'm so happy that they took that suggestion. Maybe they heard it from me or for somebody else, but I'm very happy they went about that route because now you are rewarded for getting funded and for getting stronger. You're even more rewarded. You have more accessibility and getting stronger is more worth it, basically. It's funny, actually, because when I went to Maplecon, Inkwell and Dr. Lim saw me and they approached me and they said that they loved my videos and they thanked me for coming. Like, they knew who I was, which was pretty crazy. It kind of is surreal because sometimes, like, when you make Maple content, it feels like nobody's listening to you. And obviously, that's the case a lot of the time. Nobody's listening to you, especially people at Nexon. But when I see something like this, it gives me hope. I'm just like, wow, maybe they did watch my video. Maybe they did listen. Maybe they did take some feedback. It's pretty interesting. Now, this one was pretty crazy as well because we've been waiting for this for a long time. So now when you boom an item, it is going to not only go to 12 stars, it is going to go to a bunch of different Star Force points. So for example, previously, whenever you would boom, your item would go to 12. And now it only goes to 12 if it booms between 15 to 19. But if you reach 20 stars and it booms, it goes back to 15, which honestly is like whatever. It's not that big of a deal, right? So 15 to 20, this doesn't matter that much. But when you boom from 21 plus, this is when it gets actually really strong. So 21 to 22, if you were to boom here, you'll go back to 17. Now, this might not seem that big of a deal, but it's actually really useful because a lot of people, when you boom, you're going to Star Force your thing back to 17 anyways. You're going to safeguard, then you're going to settle and wait for your next piece, right? But this just saves you that little bit of cost of getting it back to 17, which is actually very, very useful. This is a big one as well. 23 to 25, you go back to 19. So your item is still pretty strong at 19 stars. And then 26 to 30, this is honestly the biggest one. It goes back to 20 stars. So you still have like a really good opportunity of getting your item to 22 again because it goes back to 20. Now, honestly, this is great. I don't know exactly what the rates are going to be. We just know that these are going to be the booming points, which obviously this is better than going back to 12 stars. You could say maybe it should have been a little bit more. Maybe if 26 to 30 booms, it goes back to 22. Obviously, that would be better, but this is still better than what we had before and is really good. Challenger equipment, replace it. This is super, super big for new players. And again, it lowers the variance. So what do I mean by variance in this? So let's say you did the item burning and you want to replace those pieces with arcanes. You're going to obviously have to run C10, H. Lewell, and hope that arcanes drop, right? But what if they don't drop? What if you run it for like 3 months straight and they don't drop? Then what? Do you have to go get your Absos? Do you have to do your weeklies? How are you going to replace the gear, right? So you could get your Absos, but what they did instead is based off of where you are at in the missions, if your stuff expires, you are going to get gear according to where you're at. So you actually don't really lose the gear. You still have really good gear permanently, even after the item burning finishes, based off of how far you got into the missions. And you could defeat these bosses multiple times to make that final gear even stronger. So you don't have to stress out about like losing your item burning gear anymore or anything like that. So it's very, very good. Rent equipment for a day. This is actually very interesting as well. And we don't know the exact limitations of this either. They showed like a small list. Maybe there's different items in the future. Maybe they could add stuff. They could adjust prices over time, but this is a brand new system for us only. So it says when a particular piece is weak or you need a special skill ring, which is a Oz ring, by the way, you can rent equipment for a day. Some of the items here are pretty crazy. You have Luna earrings, you have Firestarter ring, Legacy of Darkness. Like there's some really, really good items here. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is the Legacy of Darkness pendant the one that gives you an extra life? I'm not 100% sure. And then Firestarter ring, what this ring does is it increases the burning in your map. Now, I don't think these prices are accurate, because this one literally costs like 999 billion maple points. I mean, like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? But if we were to be able to get these items in the heroic world, I think that's actually really crazy, especially the fire starter ring, because you can put this on like a super training day, like on a rune Sunday. You have activations, you have VIP boosters and stuff like that, and then you get the fire starter ring, and all of a sudden you have permanent 100 burning, which is very, 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 very good. And again, like I said earlier, I don't know the limitations of this. Like, you're going to be able to get Oz rings. It says special skill ring, right? Or maybe you'll be able to get literal gear, like that gives you stats. But this is pretty cool, to be honest with you. This one was amazing as well. Familiar system improvement. So now your familiar cards can stack all the way up to 10,000, and you have a bag that holds your familiars as well. So your inventory is not full. You don't need 1,000 characters on your account with max familiars on them. Like, it's great. It's so good that you could just hold more familiars now. Like, the system is just less annoying. And you could put your familiars on your character presets. So now you can actually swap everything in one button instead of having to swap all your gear and stuff and then go into your familiars, switch to your drop fam and all that, switch to your heal fam or whatever you need. Like, you could just swap it all. This is something we needed for so long. Like, finally, bro. It's just so nice. This was really good as well. Familiar potential revamp. They added something that we didn't know. So this second line added potentials that didn't appear in certain ranks. Now, I find this very interesting. Like, does this mean that on a rare potential, on a rare familiar, you can get like 15% boss or like 10% boss or something like that? Just like how you can get a 15% ID fam? Because if so, that would be amazing. You can get those on your mules. You'll be able to get like 3 baby boss fams, or maybe you can get attack fams on like lower fams or stuff like that. They removed some of the less popular lines and potentials with low performance. Maybe you can get hybrid fams now on the high end. So I find this really, really good, honestly. They have the UI revamps for the fams as well, so that you could more clearly see what badges you have, what the badges stats are. You could see everything all in one as well. So you don't have to like tab through a million pages to check everything. You could just see it all together. And I'm really, really hoping that the amount of fams you can store is higher, because it looks like it is. Like, I don't see like a limit here. This scroll bar looks really small, so it looks like you can scroll really far, but I really hope you can hold more fams as well. That would be great. But the UI looks nice. It's a good upgrade. Multiple character growth support is amazing as well. Obviously, if you play MapleStory a lot, you would know that you're going to need to play a lot of characters to get your main super, super strong. So this is going to make it so that you can fund your characters much easier, and that arcane boxes and absol boxes are not useless anymore once you have like really high star force. So for example, in heroic worlds, absolute and arcane boxes are going to be tradable. So if you want to work on your legion champs, you could just get a bunch of boxes, super funnel them on character. And it's good that it's the box itself too, and not like an actual item, because when it's the box, that means you can put it on any character. Like for me, if I'm on my arc, which is a pirate, if I get a box, I can put it on a mage, and then that mage can open the box and get whatever gear that they need, right? This is also huge, huge, huge for new players. Gain a sacred power buff when you first enter Cernium. This is amazing, because nobody likes finishing their hyper burn and you can't one shot, right? Like, you're training in your map, you have no sacred force. How are you gonna one shot? So this is amazing for new players as well. Soul Urda daily becomes a weekly. Now this is also really good. I really, really hope it scales the same. I hope that you get the 12 frags times 7 all in one day if you do it as a weekly quest. That'd be so, so amazing. I hope it's not nerfed. It's not like less frags than it was per day. Honestly, even if it is nerfed, it's not the end of the world unless it's a huge nerf. If it's only like slightly less, then that's okay. Like, whatever, it's just a weekly. But I really hope it's the same amount. I really, really hope so. System convenience. There's a lot of really nice stuff here. Boss reward distribution system will be implemented in heroic worlds. This is a huge one. This means that you don't have to blink for loot anymore. You don't have to worry about people stealing your gear. Boss loot distribution makes it so that you just roll a number, and whoever gets the highest number gets all the shit. It's like very simple and easy. Changing hyperstats doesn't cost mesos. This is like some small thing that's very nice. Event list, bro, honestly, this one is so good. Let me just like show you what that means. Basically, when you open the event tab, there's like a million different fucking events, right? You could just star like the most important one. So instead of having to find Carsey and Octofest, for example, you just have it at the top and you instantly know where it is. Something like this is just very nice, to be honest. Purchase multiple Monster Park tickets. Like, this is also nice to have to do one at a time. When you're iframed, it shows when you're iframed. Like, it's just very little things, right, that make the game a little bit easier, a little bit nicer to play. You'll be able to consume your symbols faster. The inventory bag limit increasing is actually really good as well, because those little like herb bags that you have, or coin pouches or whatever, you can only use like 5 total, but now you could use 10. So you just save more space in your inventory. It's just really nice stuff like that. So these are all of the quality of life changes that they announced. Obviously, very, very, very amazing stuff. And there's going to be more details as they come out, right? But this is all stuff that is very, very, very hype. And you should look forward to this because it changes the way that we play MapleStory drastically, like super drastically. And I'm going to have many more videos explaining things more in depth as we get them. Obviously, we have the new job, Ren, not Len, like we all thought it would be. It's called Ren, and obviously she's really cool, and I'm gonna be playing her a lot on the Challenger world, so definitely look forward to more Ren gameplay. She's super sick. Like, she is very, very well animated and very cool looking. She has like a ton of support just for her. Like, this event that's coming, she has a lot of stuff just for her, like just to make her stronger basically. So this is like the new player class to play if you want to get into this game for sure. So now they announced something that none of us expected, the familiar system expansion. This is actually very interesting. So Mystic Frontier makes it so that you can send your familiars on like a mission and they could come back with items. And those items even include hitched boss items. Like, imagine you could send your familiar out and it comes back with like an endless terror. Like, what? That's crazy. So this again lowers the variance. It makes it easier for people to get pitched boss items just in general. Now, obviously, again, we don't know the rates, right? But having it as an option is still good. This is also very interesting as well, is your familiars can have stats now. They'll have a level, they'll have like attack power and defense as well. And I'm assuming you could have different like familiar builds, kind of like Pokemon or like a TCG or something like that. And the stronger your familiar is, the more stuff that it can get because it can endure longer missions, right? So what I'm thinking is that long term, you're going to have like a set of familiars for missions and you're going to have a set of familiars for stats, right? That give you like boss damage and stuff like that, which I think is pretty cool. I mean, basically they're trying to make familiars more like relevant, I guess, even though they really are very relevant. Like, they're a very strong system that you spend a lot of time on, but they're trying to make it like a bigger thing, which I think is fine as long as the system works functionally, and it seems like it will, right? Like, it's pretty crazy. Like, look at these options: a book, an emblem, eye patch, Zerk. Like, there's a lot of stuff that these things can get. Some people are saying it's not going to get Genesis badge, it's not going to get total control because it's not pictured here, right? I don't really think that way. I think just because it's not pictured here doesn't mean you can't get it, because what else is not pictured here? Like, I don't know, a WAP. Like, what if you could get a WAP, or what if you could get Maso pouches? Like, should they have Maso pouches on this picture? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't think that's indicative of anything. I think it's probably just going to be able to get everything. So now there's even more content and more events that's going to come as well. Ascent skills, obviously this is part of our second patch. So the patch is going to be in 3 parts: November 12th, and then the second patch is December 17th, which will get our ascent skills, which is a huge damage bonus, obviously. First adversary, which is going to be a brand new boss, comes out on January 15th with this, which is the 3rd part of the patch. And this boss is amazing. It obviously drops a new brilliant accessory, and it's a level 270 boss, 3-player boss. You could do it on easy, normal, hard, or extreme. So most people are going to be able to do this boss, which is great. I love when they do boss releases like this, where pretty much everybody can partake. Even if you do easy mode, you're still doing this boss, right? And then you have extreme mode, which is super high-end shit, and everybody in between can do it too. Challenger World 2. This one was amazing to see because they are giving us the full 6-month duration of Challenger World 2, which is great. The last Challenger World that we got was shortened, so it was a lot harder to do everything. But this one, this is a full 6 months Challenger World. I plan on going super hard on this Challenger World and popping off, to be honest with you. So you definitely want to look forward to that. Challenger World 2 is definitely worth playing, especially if you're a new player. Twilight Eve, this is the very normal, typical event where you just like check in, gain free stuff, get event buffs. But the event buffs on this event are very, very, very strong. It's a long event. It lasts like 3 months, and the event buffs are huge. It's like double Monster Park Extreme XP, like more symbols every single day, more Monster Park XP, more Epic Dungeon XP. Like, there's a lot. You can get more Soul Urda dropping from mobs because of these event buffs too. So you can see all this stuff: Hyper Burning Max, Burning Beyond, which continues your Burning Beyond 260 all the way to level 270, which is great. Jumpstart Tutorial, which is amazing. This is a guide after level 200 that helps you like learn the game a little bit better if you're like completely brand new. But obviously the best way to learn the game is by watching my videos. And then this is like the whole timeline, right? So the first patch, we're getting part 1. You get the quality of life, you get the new job Ren, you get the Ren event, you get Challenge World, you get Hyper Burning, and then the Twilight Eve event. And then the second patch, you get Mystic Frontier, you get Ride or Die, Ascent Skills, Ride or Die again, by the way. So we're going to see what to do with that this time around and what rewards come with that. And then the third part of the patch, you get the new boss. And then of course there is an Inkwell gift. So make sure you claim this by going to the Maple admin. If you don't know how to get to the Maple admin, you press on the top left over here, this little arrow in a town, and talk to Maple administrator, and then Maplecon LA gift, and you'll see all the stuff that you can get here. See you again this winter for the LTEP. Wow, I didn't even know they put that LTEP, but yeah, there's all this free stuff. Make sure you claim it. That's basically it for the every little thing, every precious thing update. This is going to be a massive update. In my opinion, this is the biggest update in the last probably 7 years of MapleStory, and this is by far the best time to come back to the game. No questions asked. November 12th is the day. Put it on your calendar. I will be streaming so much. There will be a lot of giveaways, events on my stream. There's going to be so many videos that are going to explain everything. There's going to be a new progression series for my Ren. There's a lot of stuff to look forward to. If you appreciate this video, if you learned anything, definitely be sure to subscribe. It helps me out so much. Come to a live stream, join the Discord. I was so happy to see you guys at MapleCon, and I'll keep working my hardest for you guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Shout out to my beautiful members: Blazefire, Shooms, Shagad, Ravi Espa, Koga, Skittles, CKJ, Vampiric X, Fresh and Juicy, Kelvin, Cloud Figs, Trashbot, Henzo, Dylan, Cloudy Quesos, Jason B, Sylvester L, J.A., Russell M, Mochi Teddy, Zero Sama, Shredbot, Michael R, and Suna TM. I appreciate you guys so much. If you guys ever want to submit art, put it in the Discord fan art channel, and I'll see you for the next video.